Good morning, Honorable Governor from the Central Bank. A warm welcome to Jaffna and the distinguished invitees at the head table and also distinguished participants this morning. I'd like to caption my brief presentation as rebooting after COVID. So it's a reboot. We are starting. Honorable Governor mentioned the startup of banking services post-May 2009. I was eyewitness to that in Manick Farm. The banking services in Manick Farm, I was witness to that because I was there. So I'll touch on two areas which was mentioned in the opening, which is prosperous and the next is equitable. So in terms of prosperous, what we are driving, and we want to drive this in the next 24 months, is that the province becomes a zone of investment, not just for the country, but for the region. So for the country and the region. We're looking for re-export, we're looking for value-added services, we're looking for educational services for the region and Africa, if we can. We're looking for back-office services, which some of our neighbors have, which is they're providing back office services for the US, United Kingdom, continent, etc. And we're looking for credit, investments, and finances. I believe even locally here, multipurpose at the lowest levels, they have got handsome sums of deposits with them, 2.23 billion, and they have earmarked it to give out in several areas. They have also collected, which is quite creditable given they are the multi-purpose people, they are up to 1.129 billion as at March 2021. So greater access to finances at competitive rates. And the bottom line is we are picking up what Malaysia did with Singapore's method of doing business. So what Malaysia did, what Prime Minister Mahathir did when he was a Prime Minister, and what Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew and other Prime Ministers have done in terms of bringing the systems to Singapore. So we want to bring that here and make it happen. I want to also mention that even the poor are rich. Poor are rich here. And we never add value to the richness of every farmer, every fisherman. They have knowledge. And that's also knowledge which can be applied. Every poor, for example, poor plus, Samudi plus, if you look at the ratio of development officer to a poor person, his ratio is 1 to 27, which is not that difficult. So we're doing something different. We're going to provide management services to the poor, believe it or not. And it's a combination of our development officers backed up by a planning, because we have that cadre, and I think we've never done this, time we did it. So if we have poor, we hold their hands and walk to the bank and help them to work and to prosper. The other one, which I want to send out a very clear message, we have no fondness for corruption. There is absolutely no room for corruption. I sincerely ask the people who may be indulging in corruption or corrupt practices to kindly desist. There is absolutely zero tolerance on that. On equity, we are keen that we don't, because the problem is we're going to be driving very hard on growth. In doing so, we mustn't leave the poor as they are. So we need to be lifting the bottom up. And that is a pledge and a promise. We want to ensure that if you have 20 students in a class, we are interested in number 11 to 20. We're looking at the back of the class to help them to come up. We're looking at education with a broad band. So you can go up to degree via O-level, A-level. You can go up to degree via NVQ 7. So going broadband. We want to ensure that preventive health care is at your doorstep, and that we need to do less in curative simply because we have prevented people from becoming patients as much as possible. We want to ensure that we bring health care to the elders to their homes or where they're residing. If midwives can go to the houses, why can't healthcare go to the elders? So that's another one we want to do. Social protection without being as if being you're on social protection for life. No, that's not what we're saying. We want to ensure that nobody is unprotected. I don't want to be graphic, because if I were to be graphic, it'll be very upsetting for a lot of people. There are many women in kites who are young, who are single women, single heading, and they are compelled to do things which I cannot even mention. It's been there for 10 years or more. It's sadness beyond belief, I can say that. It's a horrendous thing. We have a lot of talented women. We have a lot of single, family-headed women, but they are in the lowest form of living conditions. We need to lift them up. And finally, access to public utilities and services. Nobody is going to come here if the road is broken, if the water is locked, waste is not collected, electrical services are breaking down, telephones are not so. But that's not true. We actually have all of this. It's just that we need to ensure that we pay attention, that there is cleanliness, there's hygiene, services are working, and if you ask for something, you don't have to pay for the file to move. No, that payment business is not going to happen anymore. And that we are ruthlessly driven to perform, to deliver, and we are open for business. So the message is, this province is open for business. We wish to be the best. We are last. We're actually last in several sectors, so it can't get worse. So which is a great place to be in. We are last across the board in many places. That is a good place to be in, because we can only go up. So we wish to be the best province in 2 years. That's the message I want to convey. I really thank the organizers for bringing this forum together, and we will back the financial services and the banks and the central bank in all their efforts. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a good day of proceedings.